Hello YouTube, I'm Bub and you're watching Bub's Comics. Today we're going to get into some comic books that I picked up from one of my favorite shops in Bowling Green, Kentucky called The Archives. It's all back issues, although I think he's been dabbling a little in some new stuff recently. So sit back, relax, and let's get to this comic haul. Alright, so we are going to be looking at some awesome books. First, I did stop by at a Walmart on the way there and picked up this book. Wait, let's make me small and get to the haul. Yo! Alright, stopped by and picked up this book. Boom. Batman 608. I do have the real one, the real second print 608B as they call it. And but I wanted to go ahead and get one of these because, man, I don't know. I was just excited to see how that was going to look. It looks pretty good. There's some slight differences, so you can definitely tell the difference between this and an original reprint, if such a thing, or an original second printing as opposed to a reprinted second printing. So there are some differences, and we can get into that. The bottom has this black bar across the bottom, and the other one doesn't. The DC logo is different, and there's some more information, of course, including a price, which isn't here. So still pretty cool. I wanted to make sure I got one of those. And then I think that's all I picked up outside of his shop. Yes. So I was at the shop and he always has, the owner there always has some books that I'm interested in. And boy, there have been some that I've been looking at the wall for a while. So the last couple of conventions that I've done, I had a stack of these sally forth. I think I had more than high graded on the census, and I've been offloading them. So I only have 2 copies left, my copy, if you will, and one backup. This is the backup. So the idea was that I actually before that had 3 left, and I was like, you know what? I don't need this third one. I don't really want to give it away at a convention. I want to get some good value out of it. So I went through the shop and I said, you know what, man, I've got something in the car. Let me go get it. I said, it's just one book, but you may be interested. Well, now I know that he's had this book in the past, so he knows the value of it. As soon as he'll see it, he'll know. And he's pretty good about pricing books. So I got the book out. He looked at it. He was like, I'm absolutely interested. How much were you thinking? You want cash? You want credit? And I'm like, man, you know me. I'm here for the credit. So we traded it in, and he gives me a number. And I was like, okay. And so we settle on a number of the trade-in value. And then I kind of use that as a shopping spree, and I go around and I pick all the things up. And then if there's anything more, I'll pay the difference. Or if there's anything less, I'll pick something else out. You know, that's kind of how it works. So he had this book I've been after for a while. Batgirl #1. Some Adam Hughes. I thought that was nice to trade Adam Hughes for Adam Hughes. So there you go. Batgirl #1. Been looking for that for a while. It's just one of those books you don't see in the wild. You know, it's one of those books that every time I get to the collection, it's the one missing. When I'm digging through the bin, you see all these other Adam Hughes too, because he did quite a bit on this run. But you're just missing the #1. And there's a couple of second prints, I think, that have slightly different coloration. I like that one. Also, he had a Liberty Meadows. So this is actually my second copy of Liberty Meadows. My other one is signed by Frank Cho on the inside. So I don't know what to do with this one. You guys got to tell me what I should do with this one, because I'm tempted to sell it because I don't need 2 copies, and I'm probably never going to get the other one slabbed, because if anything, I would slab this one because the other one is signed on the inside cover, and it just seems weird I don't like slabbing books that are signed on the interior. So Frank Cho, Liberty Meadows. People ask me, what are you reading these days, Bub? This is what I read. I have a trade I have a few volumes of this set, this run, and this is what I read. Like, I read it before I go to bed. I sit there and it's more digestible for me, and it fits in my time frame. So I basically read old-fashioned comic strips. So that's what I'm reading right now. So there you go. So that one I'll probably end up selling because I already have the other one, and it's in really good condition. I mean, it's probably a 9.6. The only thing wrong with it is it's got a little bindery tear at the bottom corner, which is not a dent. If you guys know what a bindery tear is, it's basically that, where when they cut it, they pulled a little nick off this one and it's attached to the other book, whatever, when they cut it, right? So it's just kind of a cutting error. And a lot of times, as I understand, CGC won't even count off for that. So, and if they will, they may count it as the one error and it's still get a 9.8. But I would conservatively say 9.6 for that. He had this book. I didn't even know it existed, but I had to have it. And it's Wonder Woman. I think it's a convention. It says convention exclusives, might be San Diego Comic-Con or New York City Comic-Con exclusive. I'm not sure. It's still polybagged, so I'm not messing with it. I thought about taking it out of the polybag just so it would display a little nicer, but you all, I think it displays well enough. So tell me what you think. Would you take this out of the polybag or not, or leave it in there? But there's Gal Gadot, and I don't generally save photo covers, but this has enough artistry and foil. You know, guys know I like that foil. So this has enough of that going on that I think I need to go ahead and keep that. Gal Gadot, absolutely fantastic. A great choice for Wonder Woman. She has almost all the assets to fill the role. Almost. It's pretty close though. I think she's definitely beautiful. All right. Next up, he had this Golden Age book. It's been sitting on the wall. That's the other thing. When you guys are trading with comic shops, it's best if you know the shop. And by that, I mean you have a firm grasp of their inventory. You know what they sell. You know what they've been selling. You're aware of all the things going on. So this is a book that I've been eyeballing probably 6 months or more. And I knew he still had it because every time I go, it's still there and the price never changed. And I was like, I bet he'd be willing to work on that. So even though these books are at a certain price, I'll collect a bunch of books that are maybe a little over our agreed upon trade value. But then I'm like, would you work a little with me on this? So, and he usually will within reason. So here's Crusader from Mars, #2. A great old bondage cover. Nice painted cover. I think that's pretty solid. And, you know, older book, but some great subject matter here. Got kind of a... There, it looks like he's probably the slave master. He's ripping her dress. Look at that. He's got a handful of her red dress, who's in distress, of course. That guy's coming to save her. That's fantastic. So, digging that. He had it up on the wall. Like I said, it's been there for a while. Another book's been there for a long time that I've finally wrestled from him is this one, Wings Comics #95. Look at that. That's killer. I didn't even notice till I got home it had all this chewed up part here. So I was a little bummed about that. But look, there's an easy fix for that. Here's Bub's tip of the day. How's that look? Does that look good? I like that. Stick that in your comic repair pipe and smoke it. There you go. Wings Comics #95. I love it. Great legs cover. Simon ought to appreciate that over at Simple Simon. Check him out. Throw him a sub. Look at that. The Tommy gun. I mean, this thing, I just love it. Everything about it is awesome. Leaping out of the plane. It's just so good. So, love that cover. Glad to own it. Can't go wrong with Bernie Wrightson. There's a section of his shop that has larger size, larger format stuff like magazines and treasuries and stuff. When I saw this on the wall, I had to grab it. Web of Horror number whatever. I don't even know. But Web of Horror. Let's see. No, it just says April. So look at that. America's Nightmare Magazine. Isn't that great? Curse of the Yeti. That is too cool. Weird Illustrated Terror. Bernie Wrightson. And the back cover actually is the same image, but in a virgin set. No trade dress. So very cool. Digging that. And there's another book he's had there. He's had this book probably 2 years. I've been trying to buy it from him. He wouldn't budge on the price, but today was a new day. And here was Danger Girl #2 with Danger Size Treasury Edition. Check that out. And this, I'm telling you. Now, you all know I give J. Scott Campbell a lot of flack sometimes. But for me, it doesn't get any better than Danger Girl from J. Scott Campbell. I think that is a perfect match. It's absolutely fantastic. Great stuff. And this large format really works. It just looks so good. I just think it's wonderful. I absolutely love it. This is good stuff, you all. That's a win right there. I mean, and I think there's a couple other in this treasury sized grouping. So I would like to get them all, but this is the one I've been eyeballing for so long. I had to get it, so glad to get it. So there you go. Danger Girl number 2, Danger Size Treasury Edition. And one last book, definitely not the least of them all. He had this book, and I was already happy that I had traded an Adam Hughes and got an Adam Hughes. And this thing is huge. It's the DC Comics Cover Girls. Check that out. And I think originally I bought this for $11. Of course, it was all part of that trade, so I don't know how much I paid for it exactly. But DC Comics Cover Girls with the Adam Hughes cover. Too cool. Check that out. Very, very cool. And I'm glad it had the dust jacket on it, because the interior, or because the regular, of course, look, there's some more of the cover. The regular is this, which is super cool because I have this issue. So I was like, yes, that's a Golden Age Superman cover where Lois Lane gets superpowers. She's Supergirl, but not really. But look at that. Isn't that great? So I have that issue, and it was so much fun to go through this book and find all the other issues that I had. Look, there's some more Adam Hughes art there. So it was super fun. There's the rest of that. Opens up long ways, but I won't stress the spine. But so many good things. And then it's so cool to just open up and be like, I have that issue. Like, you know, to just do that. I don't have that one. I have that one. And you just open up randomly. Got it. Got it. Got it. Need it. Isn't that great? And I really enjoyed like just going through. Got it. Need it. Right? So, I mean, it's so much fun to do that. And just kind of dig through and see what that was some of the Vertigo stuff. Once I got to the Vertigo section, I was like, I don't have any of it. Need it. Got it. You know, and just the whole thing was like that. So there's a double page spread of something I don't have. None of them I have. So very cool. Got it. Need it. Need it. Need it. Need it. Got it. Got it. Anyway, wish I had it. So just super awesome. Love this book. Thanks to the archives. Thanks to having that extra Sally Forth laying around. Pleased that I was able to turn that into something positive and get some more out of it. And it'll still go to somebody's collection. Like, it's not like I gave it away or something. Somebody will buy that book, I'm sure, for a few $100s. And I got all this stuff plus like a bag of Silver Age boards. And I feel like I usually pick up a little trinket of some sort on the way out. So super cool. Loved it all. I think my son picked up something, if I recall, and threw it in on the trade for me, you know. So I got something for him and all this stuff. So it was really awesome. So trade, I know you hear all the time, don't trade with your LCS, don't sell books to LCSs. That is just wrong. It's just wrong. You just have to know the shop. Know what books to take to what shop. If it's something that you know that there's value in, you shouldn't be expecting a retail return on it unless you're looking for store credit. And I bet if you're looking for store credit, they'll give you quite a bit of return on that. You know, they'll say they'll give you 40 cents on the dollar, 20 cents on the dollar. That's not true. A lot of times they're willing to give you retail credit for the item that you're turning in. If you want cash, you're going to have to settle for less because they got to make a profit when they sell it too. So that's just some common sense, you know, shop trading, and we can talk about more of that some other time. So, all right. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll catch you next time on Bub's Comics. Let me get a good one. Ooh, I like that one. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.